Do you rise or fall? One thing is everything. One thing is everything. And you're going to learn everything today. The lockdowns had an effect on people. And when you go out in society today, you will see this effect. How it affected you depends. If you're still able to hear my voice, you won. And when you sit back and observe the different outcomes post-lockdown, what it took, and I could sit here today, I'm sure everyone that's tuned into this podcast today, you could sit here today and you could see this. And there were people that rose, and there were people that folded and fell. But there was only one thing that was going to be the determining factor. You know, we're here on a journey, and on a journey, there is no finish line. And when you realize this, you make it through these pivotal quantum shifts, if you will. But the lockdowns really affected people, and I'm going to be discussing in this topic today what you might see in society. Humanity is on life support. How you actually view the lockdown as a blessing. It is. And some people, it's quite sad, you know, to see some of, you know, my friends, along with myself, that have risen post-lockdown. And we have people that we used to know, friends, and they folded. Today, if you're able to focus your attention, that's one of the problems in this world right now. People are no longer able to focus attention. And I could see this on my own content. Reading the comment section. Always read the comment section. You're going to love it. So, you know, we're going to talk about men. We're going to talk about women. We're going to talk about society. And we are going to talk about the lockdown's effect on people. Very grateful for everyone that's coming on live. Very grateful if you click the like button right now. This way others will join the live, get the notification, and learn this information. So when I reflect on men that went through the lockdown, and one of the things, you know, people are learning, we're in the fourth turning right now, all right? And especially if you're in the United States, this is a very pivotal moment in the history of humanity. And weak men create tough times. And then there's also quiet guys. Oh, me. Guys that just wanted to have fun. Guys that just wanted to be in peace. Guys that just wanted to be loving. All right. And you actually had to activate the lion within. And God puts us through these trials and tribulations, the refinement, the Holy Spirit fire, the threshing floor. And as you went through the lockdown, lions rose. Even though we just wanted to be peace and we're just like simple people. So what I saw was men that folded and men that rose. Men that became docile and men that activated the Holy Spirit fire within them. And I'm here to tell you that it's easy to fall off and lose yourself. You know, I was just connecting with a good friend of mine, and, you know, we really became close in 2020, going through the lockdown. And I want to start this talk off by focusing on this aspect, okay? During the lockdown, they closed all the gyms. All right, so you didn't have that available. And Fast forward when they reopened the gyms, myself, my good friend, other people that did the following things, and then when it reopened, we went back. There were people we never saw again. We never saw them again because it's very easy to lose yourself. I can feel this even in the now moment. I spent a little bit of time taking a few days off, and when a body in motion wants to stay in motion. A body at rest actually wants to stay at rest. You have to restart the engine. During the lockdown, we did whatever it active. We did anything. Okay, so Mike's, he had the Chuck Norris Total Gym. You have to channel your inner Chuck Norris. Rest in peace. All right, some people know the Chuck Norris Total Gym. We went to the pull-ups. We went on hikes. We did anything to stay active. Because sometimes, when things are closed down, and I have a lot of other friends that, had to, get their own equipment. All right. So I'm reading the chat right now, and it seems like we're glitching the live stream. If you could hit 555 and we'll continue onward. Hopefully it's working. And those that know me and are part of this for a while, how much did you lose? How much did you lose? Okay. And when the live stream glitches like that, I show the evidence here. You know that this is a very powerful message. That's why I like to film live, to show transparency and authenticity in an age right now. There's so many fake people on social media. Let's show transparency to the world. Let's show authenticity to the world. And that's what happened. Going into the lockdown, which I'm going to talk in this lesson today, how, social media, people are concerned with social media. They don't have social skills, especially the broken modern women in this world that fell. Hang on to your seats. Click like. I see that you hear me crystal clear right now. So my friend and I, we did whatever we had to do. I don't know how much we lost in the live, but we had to do whatever it took to make sure that we were constantly training, going on hikes, hiking up the mountain, hiking on the these special beach areas, right? Some of you see the world famous videos that I filmed on this YouTube channel. And other people folded. They stopped. There's things outside, and that's why I keep saying it's always on the inside. It's the embodiment. Some, say guys out there, they only do it for an image. It's not this word embodiment that I told the community. We are going to focus on this word embodiment moving forward. When you embody something, anything else, it doesn't. If the gym closes down, you're still focused on health and wellness. You're still focused on being the king. And we don't make excuses, right? And it was a very difficult time. It was a difficult time period, but you're going to have to tune into these skills. You're going to have to build things. You're going to have to change things up. So the lockdown really made, some people docile. It really eliminated, people that were in the pretender mindset. And it showed us what we're actually capable of. And you're going to have to become creative. When the world shuts down around you, we don't know what the future holds. So anyone that's getting this message today, these are everyday life attributes that you're going to have to go through. So as certain men became docile, other men rose, and it was not comfortable. I didn't want to go through these things. My friends didn't want to go through these things. But if we sit down today, and at the end of this lesson, we're going to see the one thing that mattered. We have a stronger connection. And some of the people that we used to know, they lost their connection. Because it's easy to put the power outside of you, or go to the matrix, or just sit and scroll all day. We're on the internet, technology, the internet, it just is. It's what's behind it. Every day I'm constantly educating myself. Some people go and they scroll all day long. They become docile. You stop moving. The message today is to get up, because it's very easy to lose yourself. It's very easy. When you go out in the world right now, especially I know there's a lot of our divine masculine, it's good to see you brothers that are single. You could look at some of the girls in this world. Social skills are shot. Do you see this? The social skills. They don't know how to interact because and again, why is this? Because people became reliant on social media. They became reliant on social media. Many of the girls of the world, because social media, right? Who is going to always come out on social media? It's always the weakness. Like, for example, the weakest people are the loudest people. I get thousands of beautiful comments, and then the weak, boys of the world, they write these nasty things. But if you saw these people in public, they'll never open their mouth. So what girls in the world, when you go into lockdown, they are flooded with the weakest of society. And now I see the chats blowing up right now. Put a like on this video so people hear this. There's a lot of divine masculine. We're going out there and it's shot. It's done because there's no more social skills. Why? Because the subconscious programs of many girls in society, social media and being on the internet, that's what they're exposed to. So they're exposed to the weakest of men. And then when they go out into the, that's a real man. I don't know how to interact with him. I'm going to attack him. I'm going to run away from him. So these girls right now, where we are, and if you're getting this, don't get triggered. You click subscribe. We're going to fix the brain. You are programmed by thousands of beta males, thousands of weakness, because it's the weak ones that are interacting because they don't do it. They're not actually living their everyday life. It's the name of the channel. I know that we're a world famous channel on the internet, but the purpose of the channel, the purpose of the work is to get out into the world and actually do. I actually do. That's why I'm where I am right now. Okay, my good buddies, they actually do. That's why they are there right now. And then we also have people, and we saw this. And you'll be surprised by the people that rose and the people that fell. So again, we could be understanding of why society is the way it is. All right, I recently did a very powerful video on it. And you could see that it's the age of, you get a lot of attention and striving on Instagram. You have the destruction of the modern woman on OnlyFans, and they think that this is the way of the world. Because this is when everyone was inside, and then now through repetition for a sustained period of time, this is what I teach on the channel. You're going to develop subconscious programs or a frequency over a sustained period of time. So I know there's a lot of men that are also listening in. There's a lot of women. This channel is for both men and women. You want to improve your life. Sometimes we have to self-reflect and we don't see the loop. So people got caught into a loop and you're trapped in the loop. The lockdowns threw you into a loop. And I understand that it's very difficult to come out of the loop. That's why we have to do this inner work. So over the course of time, and then it became very easy. And it becomes easier and easier. But then it's an overload. And then in the ego, you're seeing all of these like attention. Here's 100. Here's 200 beta males. Oh, I got 200 likes on my Instagram with my photoshopped body, right? I got 300 likes from my Photoshop, whatever it was, right? And then you get the attention. But now you go out into the real world. That's what we do here. We go out into the real world. And then these girls don't know how to interact. That's a real, actual man, sweetheart. And then I recently did a video why your relationship is constantly falling apart. Yeah, a lot. I'm reading the chat right, and then you go, and people think it's okay to represent themselves with the fake Photoshop pictures, and then when you see them in public, right? Yeah, that's the same person. It's not. It's the illusion. People created an illusion. Some guys, right, create an illusion. And this is how I all of my buddies that have all reversed age and actually not supposed to age, click subscribe, become healthy again. Because they're propped up with things that you can't consistently do, okay? When the lockdowns, the shutdowns, and you don't have this, and then you're reliant on something, listen to the message, when you're reliant on something that's outside of you. And it's just creating an illusion, because the second it shuts down, it all goes back into the box. DD writes, I loved the lockdown, so peaceful on my walks. Yeah. And that's what, my friend and I, we were really reminiscing on that. And it was a really, for us, it was so peaceful because, life, it's a little bit ahead in my lesson plan today, but since we just brought it up, life is about moments. Life is about moments. Life is not about, okay, you can earn all these things, the Lamborghini, all this other stuff, but at the end of the day, what was the feelings you had with your friends? What was the feeling that you had with this relationship? And many people ruined relationships for no reason, because it came out of fear. So a lot of what happened, okay, this is where we're really getting into this right now. The lockdowns hit something in people. And this is why it's difficult to, overcome it. Because we've never experienced something of this magnitude before. A lot of people know this is a very pivotal year, so it's important to know this information right now. So what happened is you or anyone was hit in their reticular activating system, or your RAS. And now, through the repetition, your brain in that area is now designated to seek out fear-based, and that's all you're seeking from. So that's why, even though maybe the world is not so scary, even though you can have a loving man in front of you, your nervous system, it's actually love. That's actually a strong man that could protect you. You're running away. You're running away to the narcissistic covert man, right? So for our women in the world, right? For our men in the world, right? Men are designed to get up and build. And it's difficult. It's difficult to when the gears start slowing down. And that's why I shared earlier, we did anything that we can do to keep moving and keep going. And what that actually built was something called neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity, building new neural pathways in the brain. So I was forced to, now, and I kind of enjoyed these things, ride the bike, okay, go outside and do pull-ups, even in the cold. All right. So we had to then, start to do things that we don't normally do. By doing this, we build the new neural pathways. So that's why it was an opportunity. The lockdowns provided an opportunity for people to rise, or people became docile and folded. And I could see this within my own friends group. A group of people that rose up, became better, became younger, became smarter, expanded their, because what it does is it gets us to move to a different part of the brain. It gets us to tap into the only thing that matters in life and the most precious resource in the universe. This was all about the most precious resource in the universe. This is such an important video today. Yeah. So the people that rose, they started to activate different pathways in the brain. And this is something that I've shared. All right. Remember, discipline is a higher level than motivation. Motivation can fade. You can lose motivation, but discipline, especially for our men, discipline overrides the days you don't have motivation. How many times can you get knocked down, light warriors, and get back up again? During that phase, my body took many shots, okay? Because I all of us, the gym is closed, right? Now I have to rebuild, right? There was a time we had to wear the mask over the face, and that was the only time I pulled the muscle very bad, right? Because I wasn't getting oxygen down. What a disgrace we had to go through, right? I couldn't get the oxygen down. I hurt myself for the first time, and and that was a terrible thing. Then I had to come back from that. I had to keep coming back. So what you have to do, you keep pushing forward, and you're going to say to yourself, how many times can you get knocked down and get back up again? The righteous man will rise. The righteous man can't be held down. We didn't wake up in the morning one day, all right, in 2020 and say, I want to go through these things, but this is the world that we live in. So at any time, that's why this is a very important message today. At any time, this is why you have to do the inner work, the shadow work. And that's what we did. That's where we are. Anyone that gets this, if you're ready to take this journey, you click subscribe today, because this is the real life stuff. This is about our everyday lives here. Okay, DJ Anime, I appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much for the support. Upcoming 3 days of darkness are not to be feared, because we are celebrating greatness on the other side. All fake and all illusions will be eradicated. I'm very grateful for the support. If anyone would like to hear my talks on the 3 days of darkness in its entirety, it's on the channel page. Click subscribe. Go there, you'll find them. Tara's Tent Talks. That sounds pretty cool. Thank you so much for the super chat. I'm so grateful for the support. So, hope I didn't click the wrong thing. Okay. BJ Prickett, thank you so much for the super chat. I'm so grateful. All right. So this is where the differentiation happened. And I'm only here today because God put me through the tough times, because that's the threshing floor. That's the refinement process. And this is where you get to that best version of yourself. Starve the flesh, awaken the spirit. I hope everyone writes that in the chat today, in the comments. Starve the flesh, awaken the spirit. Now, this is a season. It doesn't mean we have to live through the pain for our whole life, but we're going to be presented an opportunity. And when you're able to put these things on the back burner, you're able to put them on the back burner, the spirit takes over, because that's the driving force. That's the driving force. You might not be able, right? And I have a lot of friends. You can't just go out, and just willy-nilly, like, I'm going to just this girl. No, it's dangerous out there. It's dangerous out there, right? So it's all inside. You can't just go for any job. You might be forced to do things against your will for that job. You can't do this no more. Gotta awaken the spirit, the Holy Spirit fire. It's blazing, light warriors. And that was what this change happened. I appreciate that, Ricky. I'm so grateful for those beautiful comments. Thank you, Ricky. Okay. You are Chris Mason, 777. So what was created, and this is where if you leaned into this, because I've shared this many times, God puts us in seasons. If you fight against the season that God has put you in, you struggle. So God, as the collective now, right, we were put into a season. And the manipulation, right? So what I like to share, your body will react very similar. Like you see these people put the VR glasses on. They put the VR goggles on, and then they're screaming, and then they're falling off the chair, right? There's nothing really going on, but your nervous system is reacting just like it's real. It's a real threat. It's not. It's VR goggles. It's a real situation. It's not. It's being manipulated. VR goggles. So what happened during this process is you had something called the illusion of alone. You actually weren't alone, but all these things and all it's like not literally like VR goggles were put on, but through all the frequencies, the broadcasts from the TV, the tell lies to your vision. You had this illusion that you were alone. I'm the only one that thinks like this. And you feel alone. And that's what a lot of people got caught up with. But that's where the power lies, because when God put you in the wilderness, right? So if you're a person that leaned into it, got to go inside. People were freaking out. They couldn't go to the clubs. They couldn't do these things. I never do these things. I'm talking to all my men out there. You don't want to go to a bar or a club because that's the type of girl you're going to get. So that's why the dating pool gets smaller and smaller, right? All these things shift. You can't partake in these things anymore. And again, it's a detoxification process. I've done this with foods. There are many people, like all of a sudden you stop eating a certain food. You can't eat those chemicals no more. Can't eat those. And then if you ever try to say, I'm going to try it once, your body it's like all the toxins, all the chemicals, you can't eat that food no more, right? The righteous man will rise. How many times can you get knocked down, right? So you kept having to rise up. You had to implement these new things. Because you can't do the same thing anymore. You won't move forward in life if you don't really implement the changes that are required for an authentic life. What was life all about? It was always about the moments. So many people, they went worse. They went worse into social media. They went worse into the materialism. And some people are realizing this, which I experienced that. I finally had more time back during this process. I said, I finally could just sit down. Like every day it was a long time that I wasn't able to experience. And I was having dinner with my parents every night. And then once you start to say, oh, these are the things that are, what are we rushing for? So many people are rushing for the matrix. So many people are rushing in jobs. And then at the end of the day, they might lay you off and you sacrificed real moments, real friendships, or real love. Some people, that's why the relationships have been getting worse and worse. And it's one of the 4 pillars of your existence. Right? You want to be successful? We got to sit on a strong foundation of 4 pillars. You click subscribe. Source Shield, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you for your everyday commitment, Michael. I'm so grateful, Source Shield. Thank you for that. That's where it comes to the point of embodiment. Some people only did it for an outcome. If you are the embodiment of, because there's no finish line. I've seen it over and over again. And then there's a lot of women that watch here daily, and you're sitting here and you say, oh, how did I wind up? And there he is sitting on the couch. How did I wind up? Because there's people in the world, they look for the quick fix. They create an illusion. They get to a finish line. Oh, I'm in the relationship. And then they just fall apart. And then you see who they truthfully are. So what the lockdown did, we saw everyone for who they truly, and even within my own friend group, I say, wow, look at these lions. Look at these kings that rose. And then we could also sit here and say, I can't believe I can't believe he fell apart. I can't believe he fell apart. The message is to inspire you. We're not trying to, purposely trigger anyone that's hearing it. You got to get up. You got to realize. You got to be empowered. You got to stay empowered. You got to be strong. Something else happened, and it's either like something in the brain, can't hold attention, or just total narcissism. Any one of those things. I could clearly see. You read my comment section, and I've shared this, and it's very it's fascinating. I just sit back and I observe. Like I'll do, and maybe a person can't hold their attention, like even on my 17-minute videos, right? I see it the other day. I literally say certain things, and the comment is saying like the opposite of what I literally said. Some people have their own thing. They can't hold their attention for a 15 to 20-minute video. They can't hold their attention for a 40-minute live stream to improve their life. They got to get short TikToks, because your brain right now, again, what happened? Everyone's inside, everyone's swiping, right? That's what, even with relationship, swipe. That's what it's become. Now people, there's no love. There's no unconditional love anymore. If you have that, I said it, that's the gold. That's the gold. Swipe, throw it out, get rid of it, okay? That's the social media. That's the social media. It's the low-hanging fruit. MRRC, thank you for that. I love you. You love this content? Please smash the like button. I appreciate that. Anyone that hits the like, all right? Because this is the moment. This is the shift. We are embodying the shift. Life was about moments. I could sit here today, right? And I think of the moments I had with my friends and during that phase. And people in the world, because in the reticular activating system, there is so much fear. Your brain, right? Your brain can become wired to only identify fear, and you can't identify love. Your nervous system is wired to fight or flight. And that frequency from the nervous system, that's why like a lot of people that fell off, it becomes a vicious spiral, okay? Because it became the frequency, because it was a long time. Some people can't kick the social media short form content addiction it's really become. They got to go on a TikTok, right? And again, it's what came first, the chicken or the egg, because everything's all broken. It's just the society as a whole now. There's people that will line up and here's the credit card and let me get the OnlyFans. What is that going to serve you? Right? So now it's the vicious cycle. So now the weak-minded modern woman says, oh, that's what I can do. So now there's less and less women available. There's no way in the world. There's no chance. That's what you got. No chance. Some people, there's no chance any successful man, a real man, will ever take that into his life. So that becomes you, sweetheart. Maybe there's a modern woman. I'm here to break break the brain open. Wow, maybe I shouldn't do these things just because it's again, what happened? Everyone was home, right? Everyone saw this. This is what we have to do in life. No, you don't. Gotta wake up. You got to wake up. No chance. That's what you got. So, and it's hard. And again, we could be compassionate. We know, but look how many years. Look how many years are passing by. People's lives are passing them by. They're still stuck in that fear. You're becoming afraid of that could be a friend, that could be a relationship, and people are afraid still because it's in the reticular activating system. Hit subscribe, hit like. Let's get going today. Let's get going today. And a lot of this too is the attention span. And a lot of people, I'm seeing Wild is writing it right now. A lot of people took that opportunity. Right? So if I'm sitting here, I'm going to study more. It's always the embodiment. It's always your frequency. So what we do here on this channel, we're going to wire our frequency. We're going to wire ourselves so that we're constantly going towards growth, because it is very easy to fall. It is very easy. This is where beyond motivated driven comes from. Beyond motivated, driven. It's not motivation. Some people have a flash of motivation. Oh, it's a New Year's resolution. A flash. All of a sudden, my gym is crowded, right? All my regulars, all my brothers, right? My sisters are there all the time. When are these people going to leave? It's fake. It's fake. I got a little motivation. It fades. It fades. Driven. But when you're driven, when you're the embodiment, it's the embodiment of, not to get to a finish line. My work is my passion. What drives your passion? A lot of people got into jobs. We also saw this as well. And that job is actually draining your life force energy. And people just got into a marriage. This was a big thing in the lockdown. I know there's people that are listening in. You could comment down below. This happened in the lockdown. You just got into a marriage because this guy, it was surface level. This guy has money. She's arm candy. But now, here it comes. Now, for all these days, these couples were forced to look at each other. You're in the house and you're busy. That's the point of the world. It's not love. That's not love. You're busy at your job. You're busy at your job. Now you're forced to look at him. Be with him, be with her. And then you realize and there was a lot of separation. People are just totally distracted. In your life, I hope whoever I inspire today, you don't get into things for a finish line. I have to get a relationship. I don't care. I don't care if I lived a single life forever. It had to be something sacred. It had to be something that drives the heart. Other than that, I don't need it. That's where it comes from. Not because I need to have it. There's got to be something. And this is why I teach your spiritual senses. People are disregarding the heart chakra. And you go for the materialistic things. Life was about moments. Who can you grow with? So there were so many people. I'm seeing people write it in the live stream. Maybe you're a person and you had this epiphany. You went into lockdown. This was like a big thing. We saw it left and right. And people were forced to now actually be, because I see these people all the time. I see fake couples in the gym. I'm like, they're a couple? How do they even love each other? This is like a joke. There's no, it's all surface level. It's robotic. There's no, which is the main idea of this lesson. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. There's something during all this. It's got to be this one thing, and it's always this one thing. It's robotic. I can't believe some of these things. I can't believe it. Even the friendship that I have, And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like I see my buddies, if I don't see them in a year, it's just like riding a bike. It's truthful stuff. The passion. Chris Mason knows the answer. There is something that was missing. There was something that this was all for. Yeah. If you're still hearing my voice, are you still tuned in? How you doing? I appreciate you still being here. You could hold your attention. I love you being here. Nah. This was all about one thing. This whole thing. This whole thing. This situation. Whether you're a man or a woman. Whether you became docile. Whether you rose to the occasion. And a lot of us had to rise to we didn't even want to. And the pain and the pressure didn't stop. And it kept coming and it kept coming and it kept coming. There was a reason for this. And you never folded. And you never sold this away. Right? So when I share, we have different archetypes. And the men that went through this, they had a similar type of experience. And the women that went through this, they had a similar type of experience. And whatever the energies that you are, right? The Hermetic principle of gender, there's different people that embody different energies. We respect all people here on this channel and in life, right? Whatever energy that you are representing, because a lot of people know that are very tuned into spirituality. This is the final hurrah. So you have to come in for this incarnation right now. You had to come in for this incarnation, this experience. And this whole event, this whole thing, the whole kit and caboodle was for the most precious resource in the universe. This was always about your soul. It was always about your soul. You still hear me? You won. Head hits the pillow at night beautifully. You won. You won it. You won it all. You won the game. We all won the game. Today we're all gathered here. We went on the longest journey. Sometimes we have to separate. Sometimes we come back together. It was quantum shift after quantum shift. And now we could sit here and we won the game of life. They actually had a board game, the game of life. Does anyone still play that? Okay. DD, thank you so much for that super chat. I'm so grateful for the support. Love this class, Michael. The truth and only the truth. Beautiful. Thank you so much for the super chat. I love that. Love it. Thank you. Yeah, you got to sleep like a baby at night, you know? And anyone that's hearing this, when you feel the stirring inside, that is your soul. Okay, you click subscribe. I teach you all about my journey. It doesn't always mean a negative thing. There were times that I didn't want to do something because it was scary. We had to go through a lot of things, and we had to go through stuff, this wall that was scary. And when you push through, you will find yourself on the other side of fear. How you doing? I never bowed down. And neither did you. You still here? You never bowed down. You'll find yourself on the other side of fear. Life was about moments. And I view in a post-2020 world, and you know, anyone that's new to me, you have to, you know, I'm trying to make this as clear as possible. I've gone through gut-wrenching things, the most pain in my life. But this window of time was the greatest window of time in my life. Isn't that incredible? That's where passion is. Like if there's zero charge, is zero, it just stays still. That's zero charge. But when you have something so passionate, right? That's what God wanted to awaken. There was an awakening that happened within you. There was an awakening that happened within you, and you rose to the occasion. And there were certain things that you saw. So I teach about quantum shifting, anyone that's new, quantum shifting. And in quantum physics, once you observe, right, the observer effect, once you observe something, how many people observe things, right? You learn things, right? You were studying. Once you observe, you can never go back. It collapses into a definite reality, right? So that's how, over the past few years, and I sat here with my buddy. I said, can you imagine? I was going through, remember in 2020, we were doing this, and now look at what we're doing now. Can you imagine that? It's like we're in a totally different world. This is how you're able to rise. If you want to totally change your life, and I appreciate anyone that listened all the way to the end, click subscribe today. Take the journey, because it's a journey. You had a plan. I get it. Everyone has a plan. But we're on a journey that has twists and turns. Click subscribe, take the journey, and you'll change your life. 3 months, you show up every day, you're in a new timeline. It's amazing. I'm grateful for the community support. So grateful for everyone clicking the like button. If you could do that, it really is a positive thing that pushes this out to the algorithms. It helps me. I'm just one guy doing this. So anyone that shares, any of the community that helps, and let's show authenticity to the people and realize that the best things in life, the accomplishments that you do in life, what you accomplish, when you do it yourself, wow. Not the quick fix, because those things go away. And that's, in this lesson, the quick fixers, they all faded. They all faded to dust. And the things that lasted, the truthful, listen, everyone, when I reflect on my life, it was not a straight journey, right? Even with some of my buddies, we had to go away for a little bit of time. And now the real friendships, which are our love, we come back together. We all had to do this. There's people on this channel. You might have, hey, I'm on your screen again. You had to go on your journey. You had to go through the season. Now you're back on the channel. That's okay. That's how this happens. You have to do these things, because in order to go through your plan, right? God has a plan for you. We have to do these things, and we have to go through time periods in our life. No one is coming to save you, so you better become the superhero, okay? We're going to watch that motivational speech. If you haven't watched it already, this is The Path of the Warrior. We have tremendous motivational speeches here on this channel. You could check them out, all right? We have tremendous videos and reels on Facebook, posts all day. Hit us up on Facebook. The link is in the description. I'm grateful for all of you, and stay focused on embodiment. It's about embodiment. That's why the people that are still here, it's embodiment. Not for the fake finish line, not for the quick fix. That's not embodiment. Embodiment lasts. Lisa Patterson, thank you so much for the super chat. 1111, it's time. Alignment is everything. Absolutely. I'm so grateful for the support. I love you. Alignment is everything. If you're not in alignment, with your work, with your living conditions, with the food that you're eating, your health, or your relationship, if you're out of alignment, you're going to have all these aches and pains and ailments. You click subscribe, and we're headed to the new earth now. So we have new modalities on this channel. We got to get to the energies. We got to get to the emotions. Let's improve the quality of everyone's everyday life. So grateful for everyone that shares this out today. It's a great time. It's a great time to be the embodiment of love. I love you guys so much. I really do. I appreciate you all. If you made it to the end, you won, kid. You won. And you have your soul intact. I love you guys so much. I am the defender of our everyday lives. No matter what comes your way, light warriors, just keep going. Love you guys. Bye-bye.